going on out there? Tough day. Obviously the dollar bounced. Here's the daily chart. Now we're working with a higher low. It did do its bearish retracement, backed off, and we bounced into resistance, so it could be just another bearish retracement. But we are working with a higher low, so this could turn into a flat top break at 97 before you know it. But just got to follow the ball for the week. Tomorrow's Friday, so one more day, see how this thing closes out. But you can see the breakdown, bearish retracement, and then breakdown, and now the bearish retracement back to our close today. It's got to break previous lows. It looks bearish to me on a weekly chart, even in the daily. So watch for the breakdown on the daily chart, the lower high, or the higher low, the breakdown from here. So yeah, gold and silver came down as the dollar bounces. So let's see. Here's the S&P. You can see today it had another run, made a new high, and backed off. So look for previous high breaks for a weekly close. That's pretty bullish. Negating the reversal bar, closing so far for the week above the previous high. So it looks bullish from here. It's going to keep going until something stops it, or they stop pumping it. I don't know what's going on. Seems to me it's all fluff. It's been that way for years, and it's one of the reasons why I stopped trading in what was that, 2010 or something like that. I was just tired of watching these things just being pumped up, all fake. But nothing more to say. It looks bullish. It might have some retracement on the shorter terms, but the longer term, you can see the break of the previous high and negating that reversal bar. Anything can happen. Friday's the close. Let's see if we can keep this reversal bar in play by closing below previous highs tomorrow. So that's what I wish for. And you can see on a 60-minute short term, you can see it came down into support and bounced. So looks like it wants to go higher. See what happens. Here's the 10-year, nice bounce for the 10-year, and looks bullish from here. Look for a flat top break at 160. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches on that 160. Seems like a nice spot to take a ride. And it's only 4 points off, so, you know, could happen. Got a nice upward trend on the higher lows all the way up. So looks like flat top breaks coming through. See what happens. Look for volume when that happens. But next previous low is at 170. Deutsche Bank. Looks like it hit a wall, made a new high, but backed off pretty. Closing below previous highs. Looks like, no, right at previous body high. Probably a retracement back into support as the EMA 8 and 13 come across. Looking for a bounce anywhere around here, maybe even filling these gaps all the way into support. So keep an eye on that. Little bounce at Let's call it 13.75. So a 50-cent drop. Probably won't happen in a day, but usually price when EMA 8 and 13 come across 34, price comes down to meet it. Not always, but usually. And so you look for that as the moving averages are coming across. Then you look for the bullish retracement. You buy into the splash. Longer term, Deutsche Bank is definitely bearish on the longer terms. It looks like it hit resistance again. We are working from a double bottom. Could break into previous lows. Anything can happen. Looks bullish from the longer term, but what I meant was the longer term, the monthly chart, definitely bearish. Below previous lows. It's in no man's land for a long time now. Here's the previous lows. So from 20, now it's at 14. We do working with a double bottom on this monthly. Look for previous high breaks, breaking into previous lows, and we got lots of resistance on the way up. So 17, from 14 all the way to 17, we got resistance breaking in the previous lows. So lots of resistance, making my monthly chart bearish for me, even though you got a double top. Changed my mind after a previous high break and maybe a consolidation over the EMA 8. But, that needs a lot of work on a monthly chart for Deutsche Bank. Same kind of bounce for the dollar, for the 10-year yield, for the Germany 10-year. Same kind of bounce, same kind of thing going on. Got a lot of building here across the 34. Now the EMA 8 and the 13 are across. Now this dipped down, stretching the rubber band all the way back, and then it bounced back. A weekly chart on 10-year yield would be a good close would be above the EMA 8 on a weekly chart. But it's having some trouble on a weekly chart. Double bottom, came into resistance, broke down, bearish retrace, came into resistance, and came into resistance again and backed off. So right now, as we speak on a weekly chart, we are closing below the EMA 8. See what happens tomorrow. Japan, you can see on a daily chart the big run up, the sort of the AB bottom, huge run up all the way back into support, all the way back into support again, this time making a lower high. So I imagine this is going to come down. We got support at the EMA 13, which is the top of this gap. In between these, this meeting line. You got a previous high in the same area, you got a previous low in the same area. So looking for support in and around negative 12 to 14, or 13, negative 12 to 13. You got some support. If it falls below that, it could come all the way back down to meet the 34. Right now, you got bearish signal, lower high. Came down into support. Not much of a bounce, but it did. It held the EMA 8 on a daily. The weekly, you can see the punch into the 34 and the bounce back after it hit resistance. Making a lower high. I'm guessing this is going to have to consolidate for a while down in these areas before it takes another run up at the 34. And that's your weekly chart. Crude, nice bounce today. That's a bullish piercing pattern. You can see the open, down open, all closed all the way up, 50% rule, piercing pattern. Bullish piercing pattern, looks bullish, encompassing all the mass that it was trying to get through. Closed above the previous high, pretty nice. It's telling on the weekly chart, of course. There's a lot more going on. You can see the bounce right off of the 34 now. Pretty good bounce. Let's see if we can keep this thing running. Looks good. That's a nice bullish pattern. Gold took another drop off. It was looking bullish. You can see the reverse head and shoulders on a daily chart. You can see the breakout on the neckline, the breakout, and then the slaughter. So this is a failed pattern. Reverse head and shoulders failed pattern. Bottom pattern has failed. So the final line of support was that neck, or that right shoulder line. And from there, you should have known better to hang on. But we do have a bounce, pretty nice bounce. So here we have a nice hammer. We got a higher low, and then the next candle. I think this is a 60-minute chart. Yeah, 60-minute chart. You can see the breakdown and then the recovery. I definitely thought that this consolidation over here would have held, and it did here. It ran up and then just clobbered. So what we're looking at is previous support lines, this major pattern here. So it is breaking in the previous highs, and then it bounced. So hopefully that is the low for August. And maybe not all of August. I can't remember. Yeah, this was all in August too, so never mind that. But this line, you want to stay above and keep working upwards from here. A breakdown from here could jeopardize our bottom over here, and breaking down 1336 could be could spell the end of all of August, maybe even September, as it has to recover from such a failure. Huge lower high. Failure on a reversal pattern is not good. You can see when now a reverse head and shoulders pattern, you can see what happens when it does break down. It's pretty violent. So be prepared. If you ever see a pattern breakdown, you might want to get out of the way. That's a 60-minute chart. There's a 5-hour chart. So we're still working that upward leg. We got to get above. We got to do something good tomorrow. We got to get above the 34. We can just continue on the downward spiral. We got to have some kind of reversals to carry us into the next 2 weeks. I was hoping for an awesome August after the last bounce, but it's very hesitant. It looks like the dollar's controlling everything, right? Silver, same thing. They took it down pretty hard. Let's look at the monthly or the weekly, how we're closing so far on gold. So no reversal bar yet. Maybe a nice spinning top. Something to work with before the end of the week. Because the harder it crashes, the longer it's going to take to recover, and then I'm going to miss my target at 1475 on gold by the fall. And that would suck. But anything can happen. Absolutely anything can happen. Here's silver again. The breakdown, you can see the well, I guess you could say that this is a reverse head and shoulders breakdown as well. but ultimately when it broke down previous lows is when it really started to gather steam. It looks like it can come all the way down into this next consolidation phase. I don't want that to happen, but we do have a bounce so far right now. Again, we do have a bounce just like in gold. Hopefully we can break above previous lows, maybe consolidate. I'd really love to be above 20 on a weekly close. So I mean, it's right there, but the silver's dragging its feet. That breakdown doesn't look good. Might be waiting a while, I'm not sure yet. Let's see how we close tomorrow, and just for a look-see, let's see how we're closing so far for the week. If it drags its feet any further, it looks like it could put in a falling star. You never know. And for the month, we should be holding up pretty strongly for the month. But anything could happen. For the month, I need to hold 50% of the body there. So that's where it bounced, the previous bounce. So it's still healthy in the long term. Just worried about the shorter term. 5-hour chart looks interesting. You can see the reverse head and shoulders here, and the right shoulder putting in a higher low. So that's promising. We need to break into previous lows. The last bounce was pretty good, 40 points, so anything could happen. Let's make it happen. So let's see if we can get a bounce out of this. Close above 20. Get a flat top break next week at 20.45, and then we're off and running. But right now we don't got any reversal bars, so 60-minute, we got a bounce, but no reversal bar so far. Looks like it's hitting resistance on the way up already. So a lot of work to do, and I think we can do it, but the weekly so far is looking alright. It's not, it's above the EMA 8, which we need to do at all costs. So bullish trend is intact, is all I'm saying. Copper had a nice bounce. Let's see if we can get copper running so we can get silver to run with it. It looks like it got stretched way down below the 34, and now it's thinking about coming back across. And weekly, let's see how we're closing. Nice bounce for the week. See if we can continue into tomorrow. We need a flat top break somewhere between 226 and 230 on copper. GDX, it's a little topsy-turvy, up and down, gap, 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 gap. Here's the first gap, second gap, you got another gap, gap. So it broke, made a new high, and then came all the way back into support. It needs to close the gap. It's just up and down, up and down. It's really hard to tell when you got so many gaps. That's a daily chart. I don't care about the daily anyways. Looks like the weekly last week we put in a reversal bar, so that's good. That's not in effect right now, and we did break previous high. But it'd be awesome if we can close above this candle's high, negating this reversal bar falling star. So there we go. Let's do that. That's the GDX, GDXJ, same thing. Let's just jump to the weekly and see how we need to close. Closing the week out is important. At least stay above previous highs. We need to close above previous high, and definitely these previous highs. GDXJ. I think that's it, guys. One thing to pay attention to is if gold and silver are going down, you might want to look to the other miners. I know CLF is a iron ore, and that was down, but uranium took off today, and I happened to buy one of the uranium mining stocks and had a pretty penny while everything else was going down. So it's just something to pay attention to. It's not always gold and silver. There's copper mines, iron ore, and uranium. Uranium is going to be huge because it's so rare. It's going to be a hot commodity. So let's see where we can take these things. Just pay attention, follow the ball, and keep your head in the game. I'll see ya.